church asks you to ordain Rita, candidate to the diaconate.
Do you know if she is worthy?
Those responsible have been asked. They testify that she is worthy.
Those who have accompanied Rita so that the candidate for the diaconate are invited to come forward and say something about why she should be ordained.
Family members like to come and join me? Rita Lucy is from Orlando, Florida. Originally, she hails though from the Slovakian hills of Pennsylvania. She's been married for 61 years. She is a mom with 3 children and 1 adopted son. She's a grandmom and a great-grandmom. Her husband was in the military, so she has lived in a lot of places and has always been involved in ministry wherever she was. Her home was a place of solace for foster children to Peace Corps volunteers. Early in her life, Rita volunteered in a psychiatric ward in a military hospital where she ministered to men who were traumatized by war and who had refused to kill others. From that point on, she did not want to be part of a culture of war. She has been very active in women's groups and human rights activities and protested at the School of the Americas, where she earned 6 months in federal prison. Because of her struggle with justice issues and her experience in prison, she had been called to be an advocate for women in prison and is now professionally certified to visit women in prisons. The scriptures are very clear, and they have a bias toward action. Simply put, the Word of God tells us that if you don't do it, you in fact have not heard it and do not believe it. The only way that we become convinced of our own sense of empowerment and the power of the Spirit and the truth of the gospel is by crossing a line, a decision, testing, risking, doing, and owning the consequences. It has a certain degree of nonsensicalness, of improbability to it. That's why we call it faith. When we cross the line, we act in a new way based on what we believe kingdom values are. And Rita Lucy is one who has crossed the line. So it is therefore with great joy that I recommend Rita to the diaconate. Rita Lucy, who is poet, painter, passionate woman of justice.